If you're here live, give me a hashtag live in the comments below. If you're joining me on replay, give me a hashtag replay. This is also being broadcast over on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So please feel free to go over there and hit like and subscribe. Hit like and share and comment on this video to share it and share anything that you feel is of value. That's what these videos are about, is helping you to succeed in business while winning at home, getting the twin win, as I like to call it, so that you can stop existing and start living. That's really what it's about. So today I want to talk about an idea, and here's the idea. The idea is this. I wrote it down. It says, what got you there will keep you there. So in business, a lot of times we talk about just keep doing the thing that you're, when we're talking about scaling, right? Succeeding in business. Oh, there we go. I get excited. I hit that microphone. So the problem that I see with a lot of my clients is they want to scale, they want to grow, but they think that the way to scale, to grow, that they just have to do more of what they're already doing, more of what already brought success, what already brought money in. And really, it's not about doing more. In fact, it's actually about doing less. It's about finding the thing. It's about getting rid of 80% of what you're doing and focusing on the 20%. What's the 20% that's bringing in 80% of your revenue? What's the 80% that's only bringing in 20%? Let's get rid of that by either hiring a virtual assistant, a social media manager, a team member, somebody. And so I can focus and drill down even deeper into this stuff that's actually making the money. And that's really what you do. So the problem, though, is that people get locked into this. Well, if this is what got me here, then I got to do more of what got me here. And really what you have to do, that's linear thinking, right? That's a straight line. If you want to make significant jumps, if you want to make exponential jumps, you have to have the mindset of, well, really, the way my mentor Dean Graziosi puts it is, what got us out of Egypt won't get us to the promised land. And those of you that know me, I love scriptures and as a Christian, and I love study them. And really, let's think about that phrase for a minute and think about, what got you there will keep you there. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you'll get the same results. Even if you're doing it more, you're just going to get more of the same results. You're not going to get exponential results. So the idea of what got you out of Egypt won't get you to the promised land. What got the children of Israel out of Egypt was just simply that they were the children of Israel. They were God's people. That's it. That's all they had to do, right? Like, well, he asked them to, when the whole destroying angel came, to put some blood on the posts of their doors, and but really it was, I'm freeing you just because you're my people, okay? But then he said, okay, now I'm going to take you to a promised land. I'm going to get you to this beautiful land flowing with milk and honey, as the Bible describes it. And I don't know, I've never been there. I hope to be there within the next couple of years, go and visit and take a tour of the Holy Land. Absolutely would love that. But that's beside the point. The point is, once he was ready to take them, he being God, was ready to take them to the promised land, to have Moses lead the children of Israel to the promised land, he said, hey, okay, guys, to get you out of Egypt, all you had to do was just be my people. Just identify as my people. Now to get you there, I want you to do certain things. He gave them 613 individual commandments. He gave them, basically temple worship with a tabernacle and sacrifices and all of these things, the Levitical priesthood through Aaron and the Levites, all of those things, right? And he said, hey, now you've got to start doing things to get to the promised land. You've got to start keeping my commandments. You need to start showing me that you are my people, not just saying it, but also doing it, doing what my people would do, not just saying you're my people. You got to forget the flesh pots of Egypt. You got to forget the stuff from Egypt. You got to forget idol worship and all of that stuff. And you got to worship just me. You've got to think about just me, right? The 10 Commandments came down. So it's the same in our business. I know I got kind of off on a religious tangent there, but it's the same in our business. It's the same in our life. What got us out of Egypt won't get us to the promised land. What got our business off the ground isn't going to turn it into a legacy business. What got us to our first million isn't going to get us to 5 or 10 or 100 million. We need to keep innovating. We need to keep drilling down on what is the most effective things to do. So what got you there will keep you there. That sort of thinking of what got us here, well, that's going to keep you there, my man. Sorry, that's again, I'm just having a conversation here. And so I'm using the words that I use. Most of you probably, unless you're one of my coaching clients, you don't hear me say my man that often. But that's going to keep you there. Okay. You've got to think in a different way. And the way you've got to think is by making an exponential jump, an exponential leap to get where you want to go. That means letting go of a lot of things. Now, why won't we let go of the 80%? Because it's comfortable. Let me say that again. We don't let go of the 80% because it's comfortable. And what do we know about our comfort zone? Well, if you've read any kind of an entrepreneur book or personal development book, you'll know that our comfort zone is death to our dreams. We have to get into the discomfort zone. We have to let go of what makes us comfortable to make a jump into the discomfort zone. We have to do the next right thing. And the next right thing is usually outside our comfort zone. It's into our discomfort zone. We need to take that risk. That's why in my goals setting system, the SMARTERY goals, SMARTERY, the R right in the middle of it stands for risk. You've got to take a risk. You've got to set riskier goals, bigger goals. Because guess what? When you set small goals, you'll get small results. Big goals bring big results, even if you don't hit them, right? What's that saying? Reach for the moon, you might hit the stars. Well, now we know that the stars are actually further out than the moon. So let's change that to make it more scientifically accurate for those of you that are stressed about that, like me. Let's shoot for the stars and maybe we'll hit the moon. Let's shoot for the next solar system over and maybe we'll land and colonize Mars. That's the idea, is you've got to think bigger. You can't just keep thinking the same way, because if you do, you'll keep getting the same results, and then you'll be pounding your head against a brick wall wondering why things aren't changing. Why aren't you making bigger sales, making more sales? You've got to think bigger. One of the best ways I found to think bigger is by getting a mentor who thinks bigger. Helps me to see a bigger picture and reach for a bigger goal. When I have a mentor, like Dean is my mentor, going to his mastermind in Phoenix and sitting there with him in the room, him and Brendon Burchard, branding. Brendon Burchard, man, he knocked it out of the park when it came to branding. And Dean was talking about sales and marketing and literally taking me like, oh my gosh, this is the next level. But there's a lot of stuff they're saying that makes me a little uncomfortable. Well, here I am doing the uncomfortable thing, going live every day, doing this. That makes me uncomfortable because I got to be vulnerable. There's no editing. There's no cutting out the stuff, the bad stuff, when I forget a word or when I say something wrong, like mispronounce Brendon Burchard's last name. There's none of that. But for me to achieve my goal, and my goal is to help as many entrepreneurs as possible succeed in business while winning at home, to get the twin win. For me to have that happen, this is what I felt was one of the next steps, and something that I wasn't doing, that I hadn't been doing, not doing consistently. So here I am. I don't know how long this will go, and it'll go until the next right step comes along, right? But that's what you have to do. So that's my challenge to you, is what is the next big right step? What are the things that you're doing daily that you need to shift off to a virtual assistant or switch it into checklist mode so your brain doesn't spend energy on it? What are things that you need to get off your plate that are in your comfort zone? It's like this. It's like I could spend hours and hours editing the videos that I record. I could do that. And I could feel productive because, you know what? I'm editing videos. But all the time I spend editing videos is not making me the money that it would make if I were, say, on stage speaking or speaking to you guys here or teaching a course or working with a client or any of those things. So I have to push that off to somebody else. And here's the big part for those of you that are like me, you A-type personalities that have to control everything and say, I want it exactly the way I want it. You've got to be good enough with good enough. In other words, you've got to push it off, give it to somebody else who is proficient and passionate about that, and then be good with what they do instead of sending it back 50 times for a revision. I understand one or two, oh, hey, you forgot to do this, or hey, could you really emphasize this point? That's something that you might want, but pushing it back 50 times until you finally get frustrated and say, here, just let me do it. My mom's not going to like me telling this story, but I'm going to tell it anyways. You guys are going to love this. So I have siblings from my father's first marriage, but I was raised as an only child pretty much. And, so in my home, it's easy as a parent, as somebody who has 6 children now, I can really see how for my mom, it actually was easier with one child to just do things herself, to just say, you know, I'm just going to do it rather than try and take the time to teach this kid. Thank you, Mom, for not teaching me those things. Anyways, sorry, sarcasm. But the point is, with 6 kids, you can't do that. You cannot do everything for everybody. You've got to start teaching them from a very young age to start kicking in, start helping, start doing things. So one of the things that I knew, my mom would ask me to vacuum, and I knew that my mom loved to have the lines. Anybody else out there, give me a hashtag vacuum if you're like this. You love to have the lines just perfectly lined up and straight, so that when you're done vacuuming, it looks like you're looking at a field of corn from 30,000 feet, just beautiful lines and rows, right? So I knew my mom liked that. So sorry, Mom, if you're listening, I love you, but I'm really sorry. I would purposely just kind of just, move the vacuum around, and I had these lines all over the place. And she would get so upset. She'd finally, just give me the vacuum. Just here, I'll just do it, right? And she'd get upset and she'd do it for me. How many times do we do that in our business? By the way, I'm very sorry. I have learned to vacuum right. And I do enjoy kicking in and helping out, and learned a lot of things going and living on my own. But how many times do we do that in our business? We say, okay, here's the thing that I know is holding me back. I can't keep doing the same thing over because it's going to give me the same results. And you give it to somebody, and then about 10 minutes later, you take it back because they're not doing it right. So you're tired. Let me show you. Oh, fine. Here, I'll just do it myself. We can't do that. We cannot have that mentality. If we're going to 10x our business, if we're going to grow it, if we're going to go to that next level, you've got to be okay with good enough is good enough, and on certain things. And when that happens, then we can drill down on the stuff that's the most important to us. So I've talked a lot today. I've rambled on for almost 15 minutes now. If you guys want to know how to get to your next level, if you guys want to think about that, what you need to do is list all the things you do on a daily, regular basis for your business, and then make a list of things that you could either automate or that you could give off to somebody else. Even if it's a friend, it's a kid. I got 6 kids. I got a team built into my business. So I can shuffle off things to them. What can you shuffle off your plate to free it up for more of the stuff that's going to exponentially grow your business versus doing the same things over and over that's going to keep you where you're at? Remember, what got you there will keep you there if you keep doing that. What got you out of Egypt won't get you into the promised land. You've got to change. You've got to up your game the way God expected the children of Israel to up their game. You've got to do that so that you can get to that next level, to that promised land. So that's my message for you today. Give me a hashtag live if you join me live. Give me a hashtag replay if you watch this on replay. And let me know what you think about the vacuum story. I'd love to get your take on that. But also, please remember that these videos, me going live and serving you, it is for you. It is so that you can get the twin win of, there's my alarm telling me I've talked long enough. It's so you can get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home, so that you can stop existing and start living. You can start doing what you want, when you want, where you want, but most importantly, with whom you want. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will definitely get to them today or tomorrow and answer your comments and respond. Thanks again for all you guys sitting out there and watching. Bye.